Folks, what's the deal? It's your man, Mr. Jacobs, here with Wide World of Wrestling Podcast. Conor will be here pretty soon. We are here for SmackDown. Hope everybody out there is having a lovely evening. Let's see. Wait, let's see. Okay, now my stream is starting to lag on me. Of course. But yeah, this should be a pretty interesting episode. We have Cody making an appearance. And Conor will be here in just a little bit. He's going to be running a little bit late, but he will be here. And they're in Detroit, Michigan tonight. Look at that crowd. Let's see who's coming out first. Oh, of course, that's Cody. Let's see what Cody's got to say tonight. And you must excuse me. My camera has been kind of wonky lately. It's been going on off and hasn't been working for me as of late. So I'm gonna have to replace another camera, which I will do. So don't worry, you won't be denied my pretty face much longer. I gotta say, Cody looks awesome with that belt, man. Check out the suit though. That's a badass suit. Roy, welcome. Yeah, Cody looks great with that belt, man. I'm saying. Forgive me, I meant to play the intro. I guess I can go ahead and do that now. There you go. That crowd is so hot though, man. I mean, it's been a pretty hot few weeks lately here in the world of wrestling. And by the way, check out the interview that was done on the Elite Zone channel. They had the Von Erich boys on there. It was a pretty awesome interview with Conor and Siren. Shout out to both. But yeah, let's go in. It's time to rock. Now, I think the question that everybody I think wants to know is like, what's next for Cody? What is next for Cody? What's next? Who's the next opponent? I mean, and I mean they've been kind of teasing him versus The Rock and whatnot, but but yeah, I mean, to me, I think this is like they said, a new chapter in Cody's story. He ended one chapter, and starting a new chapter in the legacy of the roads, so to speak. But yeah, honestly speaking, I'm excited for this run. Hopefully, they're going to treat her with some respect. But knowing who's back there now, I'm not really worried. That crowd is hot, man. Look at that crowd. See what the man's got to say. Then that belt looks awesome on him, man. I'm saying you can't deny that. And I mean, now that the old man's out of the way, WWE's finally starting to listen to the fans. I think what they were doing with night 1 and 2 of WrestleMania was kind of, what they do a lot in wrestling. They kind of give the fans, they kind of give them a reason to hang on. With Cody losing night 1, and having night two be Bloodline rules. It came out. It made for a better story, in my opinion. But it's my opinion. And that's the thing. A lot of people are mentioning the footage and everything like that. I've shared my opinions on it, and there's people out there that don't like my opinion on it, and that's fine. But you know, to see what Cody's talking about. I gotta get a replica of the Rock's belt though. I love the new design of his Brahma Bull belt that Mrs. Ali gave to him. Sorry for cursing, Cody. Oh. And I wonder if like going along with what they're doing at some point in time. I don't know, man, because they tease it really hard. At some point in time, The Rock has to be, some kind of opponent for him. I don't know. Hmm. So he's not going anywhere. Hmm. See, that's interesting. I like where they're going with this whole thing now. Now Ray and Cody would be kind of cool to see. I wouldn't mind watching that. LA Knight's another credible opponent too. I gotta say. AJ Styles, of course. I mean, how fitting would it be if AJ Styles became the undisputed champion? I mean, that's just the cherry on top of the cake of his career, you know. I think after he does that, he can retire. I mean, he can retire now. AJ Styles can retire now and be put in the Hall of Fame. Like, no doubt. I think when it comes to that kind of thing, and I mean, you look at AJ Styles, you look at Cody, you look at all the talent that they have right now, and done the right way, man. This could be. I'm not going to say hotter than the Attitude Era. I can't say that because that's lightning in a bottle. I mean, you can't. I don't think you can do that twice. But I think what they're aiming for is to surpass the Attitude Era, and that's possible. And here's the funny thing that a lot of people don't know it's a fun fact that Roman Reigns' title reign was longer than the Attitude Era. That's a little something that you might not know. It's kind of cool, cool little fact. That is a lovely looking crowd, though, man. Look at that. And by the way, folks, Connor will be joining in pretty soon. Now Cody has a good point. He's not the hunter anymore. He has now become the hunted. Now that's the thing. When you have that ability, you're a huge target now. So anybody can come at him with reason. I think with reason. Whoever's credible. Heavyweight WWE champion, not heavyweight. Two different titles. I had to correct myself on that one. I love how the crowd's getting more sign heavy these days too, man. They're bringing out the signs. So it's like the Attitude Era, because I remember in the Attitude Era back then it was a you could see a sea of signs, man, a sea of them. It was a fun time, actually. I mean, back then, I mean, it was pretty much a party that just had wrestling in the middle of it. Similar to how, like, I mean, like these days, WrestleMania is like that. I mean, I speak from experience. This is a hell of a party when you're there. Like WrestleMania, it's a hell of a party. What are they doing hanging out right there? Paul Heyman. I mean, does it really matter winning or losing? I mean, does it really matter? I mean, in the grand scale of things, does winning and losing really matter? Me personally, I just want to see a good ass show. I don't know. So LA Knights first, okay. I'm a huge LA Knight fan, by the way. I've been a fan of his since like he was on TNA. I forget his name that he was in TNA. But I gotta say, I mean, here lately, he's grown on me. I have to go back and I've had to have gone back and look at his old stuff in TNA and stuff. I mean, a lot of people think that he's a mix between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I can see that comparison. At the same time, to me, he's just a pretty cool character to have out there. And they was giving him this huge push, and like I wouldn't say they slowed it down, but they kind of put it on the back burner, I guess you can say. They put LA Knight on the back burner as far as making that big push. But I think personally, I think to me, LA Knight, he's gonna win a championship. I'm not sure it's gonna be the undisputed. I'm not sure it's gonna be, the heavyweights. I don't know. It could be the Intercontinental title, could be the US. I don't know. But the man will see some gold. And eventually, trust me, it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. I think what it is that there's a lot of I guess people there pushing at the same time, and you know, and I have my things that I see. Whenever I notice flaws in the company, but I'm not one of these people that sit here and say, "Oh well, WWE rocks and AEW sucks," or AEW sucks and that or AEW rocks and WWE sucks. I'm not one of those people. I don't really subscribe to tribalism, and a lot of people don't like that about me. They want me to pick a side, and I'm not like that. I'm just on. I'm the on the. I'm in the opinion on the opinion that I take the opinion. Excuse me, that wrestling is There's something out there for everybody in different companies. I don't subject myself to one type of wrestling. I think that it's unfair if you're a wrestling fan. If you're a true wrestling fan, you want to know all about all kinds of wrestling. You may not like characters, you may not like different outcomes of different matches, but as a wrestling fan, you should care about it. You should care about different, what's going on in different companies. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you have to. It's not me saying, hey, do this. No, I'm saying, like, from my point of view, the way I see it, and I'm a true wrestling fan. I'm not just some mark that is gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna watch that because I'm gonna be loyal to AEW, or I'm gonna be loyal to WWE or New Japan. Your loyalty falls with the wrestling business as a whole. It doesn't matter what company you dig. That's the point. It's about the business as a whole, and that's why I think a lot of these people online and on the internet and Twitter and stuff, that's where they get it all wrong, and they want to become tribalistic, and that's not something that I'm into, because it just brings upon BS, and all I want to do is watch wrestling and exchange opinions with like-minded people. You know, I don't want to be bashed for liking a company. I don't want to be bashed for having an opinion about a wrestler. I don't want to be bashed for any of that stuff, and nobody should. So that's just my opinion on that. And I'm speaking on that because I've noticed a lot of that online lately. A lot of people bashing each other and a lot of negativity, and I've never been about that. It seems like since the footage came out, it seems like that sparked some kind of, I don't know, some kind of negative energy within the wrestling community that I'm not liking. And I thought it was all about us kind of vibing together. That's what I thought the wrestling community was all about. But anyway, I digress. Here we go again. My stream is lagging one more time. And once again, I do apologize for not being on camera. My camera has been really acting up on me lately. It's actually the second camera I've gone through in the last, 2 years now. The second camera I've gone through. So I'm going to have to replace it. And if you've been watching lately on either here or on the All Elite Zone podcast on that channel, you'll notice that my camera my camera lately has been going on and off, and it finally shut down on me not too long ago. So you have to deal with the pretty the pretty picture of my face. So, but anyhow, LA Knight. I'm not even sure who he's going up against, honestly. But there's one thing I will say about the Bloodline is that there are members that have not been, I guess, signed yet, and there's been a lot of talk about different members that should come and who shouldn't, and da da da. I think the top two members, I think the top two in my opinion, probably Jacob Fatu and Zilla, Umaga's son. They've been heating up the independent scene for a whole minute now, and I think it's inevitable you're gonna see them on WWE television. Not just because of the bloodline, because of their heritage, but because they're that damn good, and that's just, you know straight up, in my opinion. And there's a fun fact about Bobby Lashley is that a lot of people don't know is that when Bobby Lashley would do his pose, not the one he does now, but the one when he has his arms spread, that came about because of the fact that Bobby didn't know what to do when he first came into WWE. He didn't know what to do with his hands. He didn't know what to do when he came out, and so Bobby would just went out there one night and just did that, and it stuck. And the higher ups backstage are like, keep it, keep that. We're gonna run with that one. And so that's when the whole thing started when him pointing out, spreading his arms because he really didn't know what to do when he first started, the WWE. And so he just did whatever came to his head, and that was the first thing. He just did what he's doing like right now is his signature pose. That came about because he didn't. That was kind of a note, kind of improvising on the spot. It's a cool fact to know, honestly. I mean, I mean, when I found that out. I mean, honestly, I met Bobby in person when they came here, and you would not believe how huge that dude's hands are. I mean, it's like it's like you ever seen those pictures of Andre the Giant and somebody had his hand up to his and it looked so much bigger. His hand looked so much bigger. It was just like that. I mean, Bobby Lashley is a huge human being if you see him in person. But he's nice as hell too. He looks intimidating, but the dude's cool than a fan. And I do like how they are pushing Escobar in a very good way. And the thing is that he was a beast in NXT, and with the faction and that they're kind of bringing it all back in a way. And like I'm enjoying that, honestly speaking. And NXT, I gotta say, this is my NXT is that they are heavy with the women, and I respect that. I love it. I've talked about this so many times already. I am a huge supporter of women's wrestling. I love women's wrestling. I believe that it's just as important as the men, if not more. And NXT, they're really heavy with the women's wrestling, and I love it. That's something that I think everybody could dig. Oh, Raw's gonna be in Canada next week. Is that right? Montreal, where it all happened. That's cool though. Shout out to my Canadian viewers out there. Matter of fact, on All Elite Zone, check out AEZ Canada weekly, bringing you fresh content from our friends up north. If you haven't subscribed here yet, please do so. Wide World of Wrestling podcast. We also have a sister channel. Well, this is really the sister channel of the All Elite Zone. Please subscribe there as well. I mean, we have Dynamite reactions. We have collisions. We have Rampage interviews, Talking Elite, and of course AEZ Canada. We have it all. Fresh weekly content every single week on the All Elite Zone. So subscribe there as well. We have a team over there that do a really good job doing. We have Siren over there who does a lot of backstage stuff. Shout out to her. We have Conor who is the at the helm of it all. But yeah, check it out. Good stuff, good content every week, and of course here as well. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, on commercials. Okay, great. See, that's one thing I'm sure about Raw is that when they get to Netflix, you're probably not going to see any commercials unless it's coming from WWE themselves. Like they'll probably be promoting like the next show or whatever. But I think when they finally put Raw on Netflix, you're probably not going to see any more commercials as far as sponsorships commercials. Now I think for the premium live events and for SmackDown, that's going to stay the same as far as the sponsors and all that stuff. But I think once Raw goes to Netflix, all gloves will be off, and it'll be more of a more mature content. I'll say. I'm not going to say they're going to go all balls to the wall, but it's going to be at least TV 14, or it's going to be a lot more cursing. You're probably going to hear a lot more cursing. I think the Rock's kind of open up the floodgates on that one. Yeah, honestly speaking, I've never actually sat down and watched a UFL game, United Football League. I mean, are they any good? Is anybody out there is I don't know. Is that any good? I've never watched it honestly. I barely watched the when they brought you know, XFL back. I barely watched it, but Josh, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Watching SmackDown. No, but honestly, I've never really watched the UFL. I've heard things about it. I've never sat down and watched any games. I guess I'm just so hooked on the NFL. I guess that's the majority of American viewers or American fans of football. I love how they brought back different shots, and they're using new shots in the production nowadays with WWE. They're getting bold. Like if you noticed during the championship matches in WrestleMania, they had that when they were pretty much or doing the introductions of Cody and Roman and Drew and Seth. They had these cameras, man, that they were like they were focused in on what's in the foreground, and the background was all blurred out. It was a really amazing shot. I'm not sure how much that camera cost, but they had to spend a pretty penny on that one camera because that was amazing. And they brought back like the bird's eye view shot, and that's always been a favorite shot of mine in wrestling when they had the bird's eye view. Oh no, this the the ref was just bumbling around for a second. But yeah, hopefully they're gonna treat Escobar like they did when he was in NXT and kind of make that all happen. Oh, there's Connor. Sorry, Connor, I had to put my picture up there. Yeah, for those that don't know, I had to basically come into his account to host the show before because he was gonna be a little late, and so I had to put my picture up there. So that's why you see two of me. But that's Connor right there, so don't worry. But I mean, the cool thing is now what I think is that there are more people watching WWE now, and they're coming back to watching it. And that's the thing. I mean, I've said this before. You like what you like. If you don't want to watch a certain product, don't watch it. But don't bash somebody else because they enjoy something different. I mean, nobody likes that. It's like being bashed because of who you are. Yes, the multiverse. Yeah, don't worry, folks. Connor is right there. He will be right with us. He's just tuning in. If you're just tuning in, he's just coming in. He was running a little bit late, but that's all good because we're gonna keep it rolling. But yeah, the reason behind the two pictures is that I had to come into his account so I could start the show in his place, and I put my picture there for now, but it's easy to change it. No big deal. So it's not two of me there. I mean, it's two of me there, but not you get it. Thank you all for tuning in. It's always fun hanging out with you guys watching wrestling. Josh says I have a kind of lot of AEW fans that would just bash me for saying yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't subscribe to that kind of thing, man. I think like you like what you like, man. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of silly to be so tribalistic over professional wrestling. I mean, football, I get that. I mean, I get being tribalistic over the NFL. Hell, I could be that way. I am that way. I'm a Packers fan, and I don't care who I don't care who doesn't like it. You may like the Cowboys. You may like the Colts. It's your choice. Hey, it's your but the point is that the game of football is for everybody. You like what you like. I'm not going to bash you because you're well. I'm not in a bad way, but of course that's what football fans do. They bash each other for liking a certain team, and that's I and that and the thing is, it's not in a serious tone. But I mean, well, that depends on the. I guess for Raiders fans, that's different. But the point is that it's all in jest, it's all in good fun. But when you get so tribalistic over professional wrestling, dude, come on, you got to chill. I've noticed this first time SmackDown live reaction. Yeah, and I mean, and there's people that are like, well, you don't like AEW no more. It's like, no, I love it all. I love all wrestling. I am about wrestling. I live and breathe it. I love professional wrestling. I'm not going to sit here and be like AEW sucks, or I'm not going to sit here and say WWE sucks. I love it all. I think there's something good in all of it. New Japan included. New Japan is absolutely included. And I'll give you this: the independent scene is on fire, and it has been for the last few years. And I'm gonna always love the independent scene. So I mean, it's to each his own, and like to bash somebody else for that kind of stuff is silly to me. You like what you like, no matter what anybody says. And it just seems like I said, it just seems like ever since the footage came out, it seems like there's been a whole bunch of negativity within the community, and I don't like it. You know, it's about togetherness, not tearing us apart. It's supposed to be about us enjoying this silly thing called professional wrestling together. Then you have a cluster of toxic fans out there that kind of want to stir the pot. I don't get that. But yeah, I mean, just to make it clear to anybody out there listening to me, Mr. Jacobs, I am not about tribalism. I love all wrestling, all professional wrestling. I'm not going to pick a side. I don't believe in that. And that's the thing. I mean, that's got me friends and has made me some enemies. But I'll stick to my guns. I I stand on business. I'm not gonna just change overnight. And that's another thing. Never let anybody, whoever's listening to this, never let anybody destroy your love for something that you're passionate about. Never let anybody do that ever. Because when you do that, you're giving them the power. You're giving them that energy. You know. And trust me, you'll be tested. I've been tested over the last few weeks over that stuff. And trust me, you got to stick to your guns about it, about how you feel and about how you are. I'm getting off my high horse now. I mean, my soapbox now. You saw Tomatonga, really? I didn't catch that. Where? I didn't catch that at all. Was he like in the background or something? I didn't catch that. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I did not catch that at all. Was he just in the background? Or did you see that on like Twitter or Facebook or something? Because I didn't see it on the show, not yet. I would have noticed that. But just keep in mind, people, I'm never gonna, me as a person, I'm never gonna bash you for liking what you like. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna do that. You'll never get that out of Mr. Jacobs. I'm the real deal. In fact, I believe that our differences makes it all interesting. Different opinions. I mean, that's what I feel. You think about it, the world was all we were all the same. We all had the same opinions. We all had the same thought. We dressed the same, went to the same place for a job. It would be the world would be boring. It'd be such a boring place without different opinions. So think about that one, you know. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Oh, it's going all right. How are you tonight? Just enjoying some good old SmackDown. You know how it goes. And the thing that's what I love though. I mean that the people are more excited to watch WWE again, and I love that. You know, I love it. Not just because I'm an investor in it, but because I love the business itself. Yeah, that double splash with Andrade and Rey Mysterio was insane. I've never seen anybody do that. That double splash, that was sick. There we go. There's Conor.
All right, I'm here. Finally got my stuff together. So what's happened on the show so far? I know that there was supposed to be two. I think that there was supposed to be two triple threats, and the winner of those two will go against each other next week. And everyone's dead will
Mhm.
go against Cody Rhodes. Who won the first one? I know it was Mysterio, Lashley, and Santos Escobar.
Yeah,
Like who won that one?
I believe I could be wrong because I was also talking to the chat. I believe Bobby won that one. Could be wrong.
I hope so because I was looking at it, and AJ Styles is in the other one, and I could see a rematch between LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
But I kind of don't want to see a rematch.
Yeah, they're running it. They're running it. They're running that. I'm not going to say they're running it into the ground, not yet. But there's got to be an end game to that whole thing.
Well, like, I don't mind a rematch, but I just don't because normally after WrestleMania, at least when Vince was in charge, going in the Backlash, he renamed it WrestleMania Backlash, and it
Yeah,
would be just full of rematches.
that's pretty
But
much what it was. Yeah,
now since Triple H is in charge, Cody Rhodes isn't going to be going against Roman Reigns at Backlash, so that's not going to be a rematch. Damian Priest is going against Jey Uso, it looks like, so that's not a rematch. So pretty
Mhm.
much everything for Backlash is not a rematch. It's fresh. It's fresh stuff that we're seeing, which is a good thing and refreshing because I mean every year there'd be like they would just be doing rematches from WrestleMania, Backlash.
Yeah. It
But
gets
now
old after watching that.
I like that Triple H is now. I mean, it's okay to do a few rematches, but the whole card doesn't need to be full of rematches.
Yeah.
Like maybe one or two, and that's even depending on the story. Paul Heyman. Took all those people just for Roman to lose.
That was a clusterfuck right there, man. That was a lot going on. That was really overbooked, but I mean, it made sense, but it was really overbooked.
I really like how they did it because it's like all these feuds from over the years colliding with each other.
Right. That was the cool part about it.
I like how they did it though, but apparently it wasn't supposed to be Undertaker, and that last person was supposed to be Stone Cold. But Undertaker and The Rock had a mystery together.
Yeah. It would have made more sense if it was Stone Cold though, because I think Stone Cold and The Rock had a bigger rivalry.
Yeah, I'm guessing since they couldn't get Stone Cold, so the next best option was The Undertaker, I guess.
Yeah,
because everyone did something during WrestleMania weekend except Stone Cold. Like even Hulk Hogan did a signing. Like everyone was active except for Stone Cold, and that was kind of unusual.
Yeah, I know, right? Usually he's everywhere.
Uh-oh.
Well, I knew it was going to come to this. Solo and Jimmy. I knew it was going to come eventually. Solo's going to be like,
You guys,
I'm taking over now.
This is where Tama Tonga's got to come on. Jimmy, I don't think you're going to bet Solo. Oh, it's a hug.
That's the same hug that Roman gave to Jay. Think about that.
Oh, who's this? This is Tama Tonga.
That is Tonga.
Tama Tonga.
It is Tonga. Okay, now you got me.
Flipping the hell out of. Soul's not doing anything about it. The fans are chanting, "Holy shit!"
He's the hired gun.
Of course, they got to mute the whole damn thing. Anyone does not know, is the son of Ku.
Yeah, the son of Haku.
Which they do consider him family to the Samoan.
Yeah.
The Samoan family. They do consider him family, so. Is Solo going to have his own version of the Bloodline?
Damn, he's spicy going to give him. Look at Paul Heyman's reaction. His reaction is gold.
He's supposed to be the wise man.
He's like, what the hell's going on? Look at Paul. I love it.
So, Johnny, what does Roman think about all this now?
He's like, no. Oh, Paul Heyman thought he was going to get attacked.
When Roman Reigns comes back, he's going to come back to a mess.
I told you. Solo's like, no, don't you? We don't even know about this. I told you. Solo's on a mission.
Well, there goes that phone.
The reboot.
He was going to call Roman Reigns, and he took that phone.
I love it. That's great. It's a reboot. The Bloodline reboot. They pulled the trigger on it. I didn't think they would.
I think I know what they're going to do with this long term. WWE signed Jacob Fatu as well.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
So you got to think he's going to be coming to play. He's going to be in something with this eventually.
It's like Bloodline 2.0.
But I think I know who the leader of this Bloodline is.
I'd say Solo.
Well, I think it's going to be The Rock.
Yeah, that's a way to think about it. Yeah.
I think. I guess it's just mine. fantasy booking, but it'd be cool if the mystery was that The Rock was the leader of this new bloodline, and Roman Reigns
Yeah.
had his own. It's kind of like the NWO. They had NWO and they had NWO Wolfpack. So
Yeah.
it's The Rock's bloodline versus Roman's bloodline. They could do this in War Games.
Lead up to a civil war. Yeah, I see.
A bloodline civil war.
Yeah.
For Roman's side, you got Roman. Apparently, Jimmy Uso would join. I mean, Jimmy and Jay would get back together.
Lucian, Bronco, great to see you guys.
I'm guessing Roman would be the face.
Yeah, he'll totally come back as a baby face.
They still need to do it on 4-on-4. I'm so used to 5-on-5, but WWE's done 4-on-4, 5-on-5. I mean, Jacob Fatu 2 would probably be with Solo. They would just need
Man, could you imagine that? Jacob and Solo together and tag team? Oh man, dude.
Well, there is one more person they can get, but I don't know if he's of age yet. Let me see.
Zilla?
Yeah, I don't know how old he is.
He's been on the independent scene. He's been killing it.
Yeah, him and Jacob has been teaming up.
Yeah.
Their finisher is something else. I don't know if anyone's seen their finisher together. Yeah. You thought the Usos or something.
Yeah. I was mentioning them earlier. I'm telling you, man, they're WWE bound.
Humongous Son.
Jacob's already there.
He's 23 as of last year, so he's like 24.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to, I mean, 24. I mean, you could put someone on TV that's 24. I mean, Julia Hart started at 20. So
right.
I don't know. I feel like they need some. Like that would be pretty cool if they did like a Bloodline Civil War in War Games. You got Roman, the Usos, and Zilla Fatu versus The Rock, Solo, Tamatonga, and Jacob too.
Yeah.
4-on-4.
It could be done.
I feel like it needs to be 5-on-5 though. But they have had War Games that was 4-on-4. WCW did it. WWE's done it 4-on-4. I've seen the 4-on-4 War Game or 5-on-5. AEW goes overboard with it. They'll do like 7-on-7, like 10-on-10, like they'll quadruple it. That is kind of fun to see more people in it, but
yeah, more chaos.
But then again, you don't want to overbook yourself into a madhouse.
Who comes up with these ideas for these game shows these days?
Yeah, they rebooted. What was it? Deal or No Deal?
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that actually. I actually like Deal or No Deal.
It's on an island. Oh, and I just realized that he kept his name, Tambatonga, which I feel like that was inevitable that he would keep his name.
Yeah,
because you're doing the bloodline stuff, and Fatu is part of the bloodline story, so it makes sense for him to keep his name.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could get his brother. If anyone doesn't know, they were a tag team in New Japan Pro Wrestling called GOD.
Yeah.
They could just get his brother.
Lizard Destiny.
I expected it. Corey Grace said no one expected that. I expected it. We all heard he was backstage.
Yeah, I heard he's backstage. They're talking about that in the chat.
We all knew Corey. We just didn't know when.
Exactly. We didn't know when it was going to go down.
And we didn't even know if it was going to happen, really, but we knew he was backstage. So it was a possibility. So him being on the show. So, and they've already signed Jacob Fatu. He was said to sign over WrestleMania weekend.
Okay, cool.
I don't think they're going to start him in. They could put him in NXT, but with with this new bloodline, I think they kind of need to put him with. But there is some other ones that they can bring in. There's Lance. What's their last name? Not Fatu, but Anohi or
And Hawaii.
Hawaii. Lance and Hawaii. He's been on
Yeah,
WWE.
Lance. Yeah.
He was a jobber, but they
I like
brought him
Lance,
on.
man. He's cool.
Yeah, they brought him on there once as a jobber, but he's actually a really good wrestler if anyone's seen him.
He's awesome. Yeah.
But they could really make a Bloodline Civil War and lead this all the way in the Survivor Series for War Games. Like that would make a lot of money. Like
Oh yeah, that make a killer.
Roman's Bloodline versus The Rock's Bloodline, and seeing The Rock in War Games, like that's just once in a lifetime.
Dude, take my money now. I mean, like for real, that's money.
Kind of like this match. This match is a once in a lifetime for Cameron Grimes. He's fixing to. This match isn't going to last a minute. If anyone's seen Braun Breaker on SmackDown here recently, he's been beating guys in like 6 seconds.
Yeah. And Cameron didn't even get an entrance. He didn't even get an entrance. He got the jobber's entrance. He just
he can go off the ropes like a football player, which he was a football player, so
yeah, fullback.
And he's officially gone from. Well, not gone. He can always go back, but he's not. He's not going to be on NXT going forward. He's officially called up to the main roster. It was long overdue. It was very long overdue him being on the main roster.
I agree.
And I feel like Paul Heyman's eventually going to manage Braun Breaker.
Oh man, I could totally see that. He'll be a Paul Heyman guy. I can see that 100%.
They've already hinted at it a little bit on NXT when Paul Heyman went to NXT that one night and he managed Braun Breaker. Thanks for coming, Cameron. Go back to TNA. He was in TNA if people don't know. He was Trevor Lee. He was an ex.
Yeah, Trevor Lee.
He's actually really good, but just not as good as Braun Breaker.
Man, he broke him in half with that spear, man.
I want to see them bring back Goldberg to WWE, but have Braun Breaker squash him.
Ah, that'd be perfect. Passing the torch.
Yeah, because Goldberg does that stuff, but Braun Breaker's the next big thing. Like they use Brock Lesnar, the next big thing. He's the next big thing in WWE. I thought that could be a fun SummerSlam match or WrestleMania.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I actually think it should go on longer. I don't think it should be a squash match, but I think Braun Breaker should obviously win the match.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Goldberg beating Braun Breaker. That'd be stupid. That's something Vince would do. That's
McMahon.
Thankfully, that son of a bitch is out. This is out of the company. Everyone seems happy, and everyone's been there. Like just for WrestleMania weekend, everyone seemed more happy to be in WWE than ever.
It was more of a positive vibe. I like that.
I love this. See Punk Crossy, Drew McIntyre.
I love that too, man. I mean, he let CM get in his head. I mean, it worked to perfection.
And then on Monday, the next night, he calls us in again.
Yeah.
CM Punk's actually supposed to be back this month during the draft. He's going to be on SmackDown and Raw for the WWE draft. So we'll be doing something. Now we got Bayley next. If anyone doesn't know or didn't watch WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes is our new Universal Undisputed Champion, and Bayley is the new Women's Champion.
Yep. It reminds me, I just got a new puppy, and I named her Bayley.
Like, there was a lot of holy shit chants, and they muted it all.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that.
And thanks a lot. I really like to hear that. I feel like when they put this stuff on like Peacock, whatever, it should be they should have the unedited version of it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, on TV, I mean, really, kids these days have heard worse things than
Yeah,
what
they hear worse things in their household. You
wouldn't believe how many kids play Fortnite and it's cussing up a storm, F-bomb, all
Yeah.
this. Holy shit is the least thing they've heard. You'd be surprised. Back in the day, yeah, that their parents were very strict, but kids these days, they've heard everything.
Seriously, right? I mean, like if you play Call of Duty, you hear kids on that online. I mean, they have the worst vocabulary.
7-year-olds just crying up storm.
And they pick it up from somewhere. It ain't TV all the time. They got to hear it from somewhere.
They're hearing it somewhere. I mean, they've already heard all this stuff, so it's not like you're teaching them something new.
Exactly.
So I don't get why. I don't know. That'll never make sense to me. And even advertisers, like, they're mad about it. I mean, they all cuss every day, probably.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're not talking like Christians in the boardrooms. Come on.
Stupid. I mean, at least give us an unedited version of it on Peacock the next day or something.
I agree.
But I can't wait till they go on Netflix. It sounds like Raw, at least Raw is going to be TV 14 again. But they're going to be able to get away with a lot more stuff. And I saw a report saying that a lot of the bigger stars will be able to, they don't have to go by the PG guidelines. So
that's good.
I'm assuming that would be like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. Of course, The Rock. He's going to say whatever he wants to say.
Yeah.
I guess people like that. Which I don't even think some people can pull off being edgy. Like, could you really see like Otis pulling off? I mean, possibly, but I just don't see him coming in there saying what The Rock does or whatever.
I mean, I think he could pull it off in a comedic way, make it funny as hell.
I mean, Detroit, Michigan. They sold the place out tonight. They got 14,000 tickets sold.
Yeah, it's a hot crowd. It's a hot crowd.
I believe I saw this is their 9th or 10th consecutive sellout in a row. That's crazy.
Damn, that's impressive. Honestly,
I know they talked about WrestleMania or Raw or something. I seen never going by each city that they sold out.
Wow, that's impressive. I gotta say.
Oh, we got AJ Styles. I knew he was in one.
He finally figured out how to say wrong the right way.
Who's in the first triple threat? It was Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, and let me see. I have it right here.
It's LA Knight.
Yeah, it was LA
tonight.
Yeah, it was LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Santos Escobar, and the next one is Owens, Mysterio, and Styles.
Oh, great. Great. Okay, cool.
I like when they do the 2 triple threat matches. The 2 go against each other the next week for a title.
That's good. I like that booking too.
Bailey wearing blue on the blue brand.
She looks good in blue, though, I gotta say. She looks great. Happens to be my favorite color.
Yeah, I like blue too.
Look at that camera shot. That's what I was talking about earlier with the new shots.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot. Ever since Kevin Dunn, they got him out of there, they've been
Yeah.
doing a lot better with camera work. And I bet this is stuff that they've wanted to do for a long time, but it just all got shot down multiple times. And they never could do it.
You know the story of Kevin Dunn, why they kept him around?
Probably, I don't know why.
There was a okay because his father, Kevin Dunn's father, used to work for Vince McMahon, and there was this huge fire. I'm not. I think it was in like a warehouse or something. I'll forget. But Vince McMahon uh, basically gave his father a job. His father and Kevin a job for life because he saved a whole bunch of footage from a fire. And like like a whole bunch of this these gems that we probably see on the network today, he saved from a fire, and ever since then, his Kevin Dunn's father and Kevin Dunn himself had a job up until Vince was kaput.
I mean, yeah, I give him a job for all these years. Golly,
Yeah, all because he saved some footage from a fire. True
what,
story,
what kind of footage? Like wrestling
like
footage?
matches and stuff.
Oh, not maybe it was thousands of them. I don't know. I guess it had to be some rare footage. I guess.
I'm thinking because it had to have been that important that he kept Kevin around as long as he was around.
Yeah, because he's been there for decades.
Yeah, and his father worked for Vince Senior, I believe. Kevin Dunn's father.
Had to have done some Hulk Hogan something because not just any old footage is gonna get keep someone's job. I wouldn't be cheering for Bailey.
Oh, good question. Who should beat Billy for the title?
Well, first I want to win it, can't win it because they need to win the Money in the Bank. I want Tiffany Stratton to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. And
Oh,
her
okay.
cash in. I feel like that's a perfect spot for her. But it's not Tiffany Stratton. It's gonna be well. It really depends where she's gonna land in the draft because they could
Yeah,
switch and put Rhea Ripley on SmackDown and Bailey on Raw. They could switch.
true. Yeah.
Um, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if they put it on Dakota Kai. She's
That's a good answer.
it's a good got a feud there, but but someone different. I don't like Charlotte Flair.
Right.
Uh, not the same old.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would like for it to be Jade, but I want it to work for it. Like make a good story behind it, make a good angle, and like Jade could be there eventually.
And they got Bianca Belair.
True.
Got Naomi. And it's really hard to say because that draft is coming up pretty soon. And
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton. Or I was just talking about her. Yeah, if anyone's gonna beat her, it's Tiffany Stratton. But I would rather her win the Money in the Bank than didn't win it. But either way, I want her as women's champion.
Yeah, Tiffany's been showing out though. I've become a slow fan of hers over time.
Like she's proven that it's not just her look; she can actually wrestle in the ring. Like she has one of the best moonsaults I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I agree with that one though.
Like some of these, oh, that sign. You got some guts, dude. In the front row showing that.
I didn't catch it yet.
Hope you don't have social media, dude.
Oh, okay, I see it now. Damn.
You better shut off all your social media accounts for a few days.
That's probably it's probably on Facebook right now. Somebody already posted it.
She couldn't even win a title if it glowed in the dark.
Oh, that was a nice transition. She couldn't even win a title if. How did she say it? Basically, referencing Naomi, like that was a good transition into bringing Naomi.
That was pretty good. I gotta say, I admit that was impressive.
She couldn't win the title even in the dark, and Naomi's all about the glow. And that was nice.
Some clever writing there, WWE. I see what you did there.
I think we're gonna get a qualifying match or something right here.
I already beat you.
Yeah, Tiffany beat Naomi her first night SmackDown thing.
Yeah.
She's already beaten a lot of the top names in WWE just a short amount of time.
You done tried me on the wrong night, little girl. Sure, you've beaten me before, but here's what you don't know. I have earned every single thing that I've gotten here in WWE, and I don't plan on stopping now.
You gotta win.
Exactly.
So, babe, I can't accept your challenge just yet. Because first, I want to take on clueless Tiffany right here and right now.
Clueless Tiffany.
We could have a big match on our hands. Naomi and Tiffany. We're going to try to get a referee out here.
I don't think there's gonna be a winner. They're gonna make this a triple threat at Backlash.
After all the work.
I'd watch that. Hell
Something's
yeah.
gonna happen. Because I don't think they want Tiffany to lose just yet. I don't know. Something's gonna happen.
Mm.
And who said that Naomi makes the matches? Nick Aldis come out and say, "No, we're not doing this."
I mean, Adam's the one that's got to make it official, right?
Well, Nick Aldis is the GM of SmackDown, so
Nick Aldis, yeah, Nick has to make it official.
just like Paul Heyman said, "Who the hell do you think you are making matches?" I was watching. I've been watching all the old SmackDowns, and when he was the GM, he was Kurt Angle. He faced Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. He made a match official. Paul Heyman was like, "Who the hell told you make the matches around here? This isn't amateur wrestling."
I thought Paul Heyman as a GM was pretty cool. I thought he did some hilarious stuff.
Yeah, he's ass. Well, it was always fun whatever he did. Right now, I'm in 2004. He's managing Heidenreich.
Mm-hmm. I remember when he ate that bar of soap. I'm not sure who it was, but they were cramming a bar of soap down his throat. It was hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, one of my favorite. I got back into WWE because of CM Punk, but one person that I look forward to watching just as much as CM Punk is Tiffany Stratton. A lot of people would say it's her looks. I mean, she is attractive, but she's really good on the mic, and she can wrestle really good.
Mm-hmm.
Some women like who could I use that example of? Tori Wilson, I guess. She couldn't wrestle worth the flip, really. I mean, she was better than Stacy Keibler, but
yeah, I'd say that.
She was all look really, but Tiffany Stratton has the look. She can talk the part and she can wrestle. So like she has all those. She has everything it takes to be a champion, really. Like there's
Reminds me of Trish Stratus, actually.
Yeah, Trish Stratus. Well, Trish Stratus could wrestle better than both Tori Wilson and Stacey Keibler.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she does remind me of Trish Stratus because Trish Stratus was attractive, but she could also wrestle.
Yeah.
and she could talk. Some people have one or the other, but she has all three. I think Tiffany Stratton is definitely going to be a champion in WWE. If she stays healthy, I think she'll be women's champion by the sometime this year.
I can definitely see that, honestly. Yeah.
Because she debuted at the Royal Rumble, well, on the main roster. She came from NXT. And they said the first night she was at the Royal Rumble, everyone was already impressed with the call her up.
What happened out there?
Dude,
man.
you talked all that stuff at the Hall of Fame. Can't cry now.
Paul is so afraid now. I love it. He's like, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's like, oh boy, what did I just do? What did I get into?
What the hell is that?
Great question. Paul, did Roman give the order? I don't want to go anywhere near
Did Roman kick out Jimmy Uso?
That's believable if they're trying to keep the head of the table character going.
That would make sense because Solo was the only one really helping. But Jey Uso put Jimmy through that table. No, not through the table, but they went through on the stage part or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what to think because whenever Paul tried to call Roman, Solo stopped him. So I don't know. It's up in the air. Did Roman call it or what?
Or are they saying the tribal chief and they're actually referring to
The Rock?
They're acknowledging their tribal chief.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because I forgot about that. Because he did. He said call Roman Reigns and he took the phone. I wonder if he actually broke it. Paul Heyman can afford any phones.
He can totally afford a new phone.
Yes, we got right now going on as we speak.
Oh yeah.
And, she didn't wrestle in the Indies. They got her from I forget what she was doing, but she.
I think she was either a ballerina or a in gymnastics. One of those.
Something like that. Because I remember seeing it. It's the INIL. It's a program where they get athletes and they make them into wrestlers.
Yeah, next in line. Yeah.
And it's surprising that you would think that she's been a wrestler for years. Like she's new at this and she's already this experience. Like she's doing better than people that it took them years to get to where they're at.
And once again, just like Trish Stratus started out as a model. Look at wrestling when she started.
And she came in and acted like she was doing this for years. I feel like the best two that's come out of that program. I'm not going to include Logan Paul because he didn't come from there. He came from his YouTube channel. But Tiffany Stratton and Oba Femi, I don't know if anyone knows who that is. He's an NXT.
Oh, yeah.
He came from that. I don't know what he was doing, but he is really, 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 really good. I can see him being a world champion on the main roster. From what I'm seeing, those two are the most successful.
I think he's still the North American champion, I think.
Yeah, he's the North American. I think he's going to be a double champion by the end of the year. He's going to be NXT World Champion and North American.
Yeah, he's badass. He is.
I think they're going to have to vacate the whole thing just so he can take the belts off of him.
Like they did Oscar.
Yeah, they're going to have to, probably.
Yeah, because I remember they came up with this whole thing. Well, Oscar did actually get hurt, but she had to relinquish the women's NXT title when she was called up, and there was nobody there that could beat her. She tore through everybody. And Asuka coming from Stardom Wrestling, if anybody knows about Joshi Wrestling, they go pretty hard, over there. So, kind of how tough she is. Her and Io Sky actually came from the same. You can say they're cut from the same cloth as far as wrestling and where they, were trained and where they performed for a long time. Stardom was the place where they kind of like cut their teeth, and they actually mentioned Stardom on AEW, which a lot of people didn't get. But yeah, that's what Stardom is. It's the place of, you can say, the home of Asuka. The home of Io Sky. Hope you all are having a great evening out there. Conor has some technical difficulties. He'll be right back. If you hear any bumping around, that's my new pup Bailey. She's playing with her toy. Once I get my new camera, I'll introduce you to her. Yeah, she's a little rambunctious thing, but I love her. That Wendy's commercial's making me hungry. I haven't even ate today. uh, but I think now, going back to the Bloodline, looks like they're doing a whole reboot of the whole thing. I like it. Uh, Bailey back here bumping around. And yes, I named her Bailey after Bailey the wrestler. And this is before she got. This is before she won her title the other night. Actually, I got Bailey about a week before WrestleMania, and so yeah, she just the name kind of came to me, and she accepted it, and so now Bailey the Pit Bull. Very fitting. She's a scrapper. Oh, the Rangers versus the Astros. I'm a huge Rangers fan. I might just check that game out. They're giving this match some good time. I like that. That's what I was saying. WWE, they've been going hard with the ladies. I like, and that's something I appreciate because I'm one fan that enjoys some good women's wrestling. I love it. I think it's just as important as men's wrestling, honestly speaking. And that's another thing. Like I was saying earlier, I noticed that NXT are very heavy with the women's matches. I love that. Yeah, I've always been a supporter of women's wrestling. I think, like I said, it's just as good as the men's. Support women's wrestling and also support independent wrestling. Support independent. Support all wrestling because it's all awesome. One way or another, somebody's gonna get something out of it. That's the cool thing about it. Oh, Tiffany kicks out. This is a good match. I think, yeah, definitely after the Royal Rumble, I think a lot of people became a believer of Tiffany. I definitely did. Oh, damn, that was a brutal double stomp. Naomi kicks out right at 2.99. Oh my gosh. Josh, go Tiff. Okay, well, we got Team Tiffany. I agree. It's a pretty good match. It is. It is. And they're giving it a good time. They're letting it breathe. I enjoy that. You let the women do their thing. Oh, Alabama slam on them. There he is. He's back.
So I'll say my internet's just acting crazy today.
Oh, I've been there. Believe me, I know.
So Naomi defeats Tiffany Stratton. Looks
What
like
a match.
looks like Naomi will be going for the women's title now.
Looks like it. I'm digging it. I'm really not mad at the decision. I'm a fan of both Tiffany and Naomi, honestly.
1-1. They're tied.
Yep. They are tied up now.
I think Bailey's probably going to retain though,
I hope so.
since she literally just won in WrestleMania. But
Yeah.
which Naomi, she's been kind of taking a back seat since she came back. So it's good to see her finally getting some spotlight. Which a lot of fans are like when they bring someone in, like they want them to immediately be pushed to the top of the division, and then that's not how you. I mean, yeah, you could do that with everybody, but then it just gets to where everyone you sign has to immediately be pushed to the moon. And
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone's going to be pushed to the moon as soon as they get signed. I mean, you just can't.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. I wouldn't want them to be pushed to the moon. As far as like right when they get there, I wanted to see a good angle and have meaning behind it, and don't just put them in the spotlight right then and there.
Like that's what I like what they do with Naomi. You know, she had to kind of work her way back up to get a title shot. You know, she teamed with Jade and she went against Dakota Kai, and she lost some and won some, but I like it better when someone has to work their way up a little bit before getting a title shot.
Right.
And
That's what I was saying. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that like Naomi knows that. Like she's, I mean, coming back. I mean, you want to remind people. I mean, I think people forgot who Naomi was, but just so that she still has them, she's dared to be serious, you know.
Right. And that's what I was saying. Like in the case of Jade, I want her to work her way up there. I don't want her just to be put in the spotlight right then and there. I want to see her eventually get there, and it's going to happen if they do it right, you know.
Yeah, she was on Raw this week, which I thought was weird because she's on SmackDown.
I'm in retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely.
But speaking of Jade, they actually, I was on WWE's website, and they're advertising her for some house shows for WWE. Not this weekend, but the next weekend. Jade will be on some house shows doing some matches. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like tag matches or squash matches, or it's a house show, so it's mostly about matches for house shows. So she's going to have to wrestle more than a squash match. So I think starting her slow. I mean, she's had a few TV matches. They've been kind of squash matches, but she had a match at WrestleMania. She was in the Royal Rumble. She did good in the Royal Rumble. She did good at WrestleMania. And I think giving her some matches on house shows is also a good way to practice with her and get her. Get her
used to the WWE universe.
Yeah, and get her. I mean, she's somewhat good in the ring, but I feel like they want to make her where she's not limited, because in AEW it's sort of limited, but I feel like what they're doing is they're taking her and working with her slowly. And once they get her where she's not limited, then they just made themselves a star. That's all she needs. Like she's got the mic work, she has the look. I mean that's all she's missing. And I think so far she's done a pretty good job of coming to WWE and learning new moves and stuff. And as I said, I believe it was on Ricochet's story or hers on Instagram, but Ricochet taught her how to do a 450 splash. So I'm curious to see if she actually does it in the ring.
I want to see that too.
Never done that in AEW. Like that's something totally brand new that she would be doing. But I thought it was interesting that they were putting her on some house shows. It's like 2 house shows back to back, one on Saturday and Sunday next weekend.
That's awesome. Good for her.
Reliability and power with Xfinity. She shoots from here? That's kind of my thing.
It's kind of sad that, Jade, she was kind of great in AEW, but at least she's getting better, and Marina Shafir isn't getting any better.
Every episode.
Marina Shafir she was in WWE, and if you can't learn at the Performance Center, I don't think you're meant to be a wrestler.
Oh, that's true. If you don't learn something to go in there, you don't need to be in the business.
Because you're getting coached by Triple H and William Regal and all these legends, and even
Norman Smiley.
Yeah, and even current wrestlers go there sometimes. Like CM Punk was just there. He was with Trick Williams and all them training. Like, there's so much talent there to learn from.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a lost cause. Maybe might as well start GoFundMe. I don't know what they do. I don't know what she does in wrestling.
We're past WrestleMania. We're on the other side of WrestleMania, but the momentum keeps on rolling. The WWE universe continues to grow.
That's really impressive. All those sellouts, man.
This is their 18th consecutive televised sellout. So
that is amazing.
They sold out 18 televised events in a row. They haven't done that in years.
They haven't done that in a long time. Not since the Attitude Era, like for real. They haven't done that well.
I'm curious to see what's their all-time record for televised events sold in a row.
Jeez.
I want to know what's their record for that? Because that could have already passed it. I don't know. I'd like to know that.
Love that crowd, man. That is a hot crowd.
I don't like Sami Zayn now. You
don't like Sami now?
He took Chad Gable's moment. He has his wife out there, his kids there. That's the exact same thing Chad Gable was probably going to do.
Probably, yeah.
Sami Zayn is a moment stealer, just like The Rock.
Well, The Rock's a pro at that. Yeah, he can steal a moment in a heartbeat.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sami and The Rock's in cahoots together, stealing people's moments. But I do hope Chad Gable. I thought the story was there. It would have been a bigger one if Chad Gable would have won, because they had been building towards that for over a year now.
Hey, what's up, WWE?
I don't know. Sami can just come on in and swoop in like The Rock and take someone's moment.
At WrestleMania. Well, one legend.
At least he's full time though.
Yeah.
Who's the real legend killer? I walked in the champ. I exited the champ. Retain and remain. Like I said, what did you expect? It was the biggest WrestleMania ever. That's not a surprise.
No, the U.S. title match WrestleMania was really, really good. That was one of the best matches on night 2. Orton, Owens, and Logan Paul. That was a really good match.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Based on this WrestleMania, 200 million of those came from me and my team, the Prime team. I show speed.
Nobody buys Prime. I even heard Rhea Ripley said it tasted like.
Logan Paul, the Vector.
Let's say
I
she
heard it
said
tastes bad.
Rhea Ripley, in her own words, said it tastes like shit. So
But the kids love it.
see what
Yeah,
do
I gotta
you?
say though, whenever Speed took that bump from Randy Orton, man, that was so funny. that was hilarious. That was a hell of a moment.
See, this doesn't make sense. Like Chelsea Green and Piper never they're on Monday Night Raw.
I don't know what they're doing anymore. I guess that they figure the draft's coming, so screw it.
This isn't. It's not like. I mean, if you do, that would make sense.
But the thing is though, okay, they do a draft like every 5 years or so, 3, 4, 5 years, and they never stick to it. So what's the point of bringing it back if they're not going to stick to it? I know they're not. I know for a fact they're not going to stick to it. I know that.
Like the way they did it in 2016 was perfect. Like when they first brought it back, everyone was stuck to their brand. The only time they crossed over was for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
That was the only time. Or for draft night when they had to do their draft. But
that's the thing. I could be wrong since the old man's gone. They could actually stick to it this time. So who knows?
yeah, because a lot of that was on Vince McMahon. But Vince McMahon used to do it better because he was the one that started the brand split. And it was actually really good. Again, is this a handicap match? She's gonna go up to both of them. Now,
I mean,
Jade and Piper Niven would be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I don't think Jade's gonna be able to just squash Piper Niven. She could. You never know.
Is it me or does her entrance remind you of Glacier from WCW a little bit? With the laser and the smoke and it's a badass entrance though, no doubt. Just reminds me of Glacier a little bit.
She shouldn't have cut her hair. Because when she does her entrance, it may look cooler when she had that.
She looks hot either way.
Yeah, at least she's. This is pretty bad that she's already better than Glacier in ring.
Right. Because that was the best part about Glacier was his entrance.
Yeah, that was the only thing. I mean, he had a few good moves, but
the spin kick, that was it.
That was a tag match. Yeah, Bianca.
I gotta say, Bianca and Jade's a good team, though. Both strong, both athletic. Both have worn gold in their past.
This is interesting.
That says, what do you think about the title split?
Tag. I love that. I love that. The one thing that I love about WrestleMania, that was on night one. That was a really, really good match. And I liked how, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller got the SmackDown titles first.
Yeah.
And then Awesome Truth on the Raw. I like how they split them up because, as we've been saying, WWE has a very stacked tag team division. It's not like it used to be because it was like, WWE didn't have really any tag teams because Vince McMahon, he could break up tag teams, release people, or if someone would be injured, then they wouldn't use the other partners. So they had, like, the tag teams they had was Usos, New Day, that was it, really. Like that
Pretty
was it.
much.
I guess the Street Profits and maybe 4 or 5 teams they had. So it made sense to not have two sets of tag titles. But now they've got a lot of new teams formed. They've called up some teams from NXT like Pretty Deadly. They got
Yep.
and they've brought back some teams from free agency like Gallows and Anderson, Authors of Pain, and they formed new tag teams: Chad Gable and Otis. Not really a new tag team, but Miz and R-Truth. They brought back DIY back together. Creed Brothers called them up from NXT. So like they have a lot of new teams. They have a wider variety of tag teams. Like they probably got like 12 tag teams across both brands. So they have more than enough teams. So and Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, they put them together. So they have more than enough tag teams to split them up. And when they split the tag teams up, that means more opportunities for people. So
it was a good move. Good move. Splitting the tag team titles up, I believe.
Raw and SmackDown both have very stacked tag team divisions. So they got a perfect setup to split them, and more tag teams get more spotlight, more opportunities for tag teams.
Exactly. There you go.
I would have preferred DIY winning those Raw tag belts, but it's cool having R-Truth win a title again. It's been a while. I mean, he won the 24/7 title, but an actual title that means something.
Yeah. Who is that hot in the background?
As you guys may or may not know, WWE
And Byron Saxton just walked right into where that dude was hiding.
But obviously, the real title I want is the Devils. Look at this.
I'm not sure if you noticed that, but there's a dude standing behind that one plier, the one pillar.
Look, Byron, obviously winning the WWE title is the most important thing to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
No, speaking of titles, look at this.
You notice that?
Yeah, like they had a hoodie on.
I like Tigers.
And Byron Saxton just walked over there.
And WWE started this, Triple H. This is a Triple H idea, I feel like. That in promos, they will have other wrestlers in the background. Like, they had someone doing a promo, but in the background, we saw Paul Heyman and Drew McIntyre talking to each other. And later that night, Drew McIntyre reached out to Rollins to help The Rock and Roman Reigns or whatever. So, I like how they do that. It's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, there's other stories. Yeah. Like, there's a story going on in front of the camera, then over somewhere else, another story is going on. Like, everything's just colliding together. Well, not really colliding, but stories are just surrounded by each other, which is pretty cool.
I love it. They've made a living, breathing organism right there. I mean, it's cool.
And it's very different. That's never really been done in wrestling. Like, you have like Kevin Owens and Byron Saxton. And in the background, you see Paul Heyman and Drew McIntyre talking. Like, that's an easy way to feature two stories in one.
Mm-hmm.
Saves TV time too. A little bit.
Yep.
We're ready to our main event. Well, that's fast.
Already? Damn.
Got Owen, Styles, and Rey Mysterio. This should be a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raw looks pretty good too on Monday. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable for the Intercontinental title. Andrade and Dominic Mysterio should be a really good match. Looks like Sheamus is returning.
That's what I'm saying. They're giving people a reason to watch WWE again. I enjoy that because they fell off over the years. Can't deny that. But I think a lot of people are coming back to it.
Yeah, it feels like it's not just a Bloodline story anymore, because now you have Cody winning the title, you have CM Punk and whatever he does, and you have all these other really good people like Tiffany Stratton or Jade Cargill or
Yeah.
Chad Gable that are exciting to watch, and you want to see what they do. And you got someone like R-Truth who's very funny, and you just love to watch him whenever he
Yeah.
does. And you never know who's going to appear. You never know if The Rock's going to show up or John Cena. I didn't expect CM Punk to be on Raw, or even John Cena, really.
That was
You never know
surprising,
what's going.
definitely.
You never know who's going to show up now, which makes it even more exciting.
Yeah, it's become unpredictable again. That's the fun part about it.
I hate to make this comparison. Thank God I'm not on the other channel. I already know a lot of people get pissed at me saying this. But this feels like, WCW was really hot in 1998, 97. Like they were
Yeah.
whooping WWE every week. Not that AEW was ever whooping WWE, but they were once upon a time putting on a better product than WWE. Now this feels like, WWE found new stars in Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley, and WCW was just they were trying to figure themselves out. Like they had ran out of everything that was cool. Had a lot of backstage drama with Hulk Hogan. Some people, like, they just didn't know what they were doing. Like they were just trying to figure things out. It kind of feels like what's going on right now. WWE's created a lot of new bigger stars. Not that Cody Rhodes wasn't a star, but they made Cody Rhodes even to a bigger star. Like
Right.
they made themselves a new Rock in Austin. Like Cody is your Austin and Roman's your Rock. Then AEW's kind of figuring things out. They got a lot of drama. Fans care about more what's going on backstage than the actual wrestling show.
Yeah, that's sad.
And that's what they did in WWE. People cared about Hulk Hogan and, what was going on with Vince Russo. And it kind of feels like the same thing that happened years ago is happening again now.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'm glad I didn't say that on the other. And some people just can't handle certain things, but
I mean, that's today's world for some reason. I mean, you can't have your own opinion without somebody bashing you for it. It's ridiculous. And that's the thing. I mean, I, I've never really bashed AEW. I've always supported it. I just think it can do some improving. It's still a baby. It's not like it's a well-oiled machine yet. Yet the key word is yet.
Yeah.
But it's getting there.
Also next week, the #1 contenders match for Cody Rhodes' challenger at WWE Backlash.
But I think if they focus on what they're there for, which is to put on an awesome wrestling show, then they might might work for them.
I just feel that they need to. Tony Khan can't be in booking anymore. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I've always said that he needed to delegate a little bit when it came to creative. I agree. I mean, like I said, it's a great show. There's nothing wrong with having some people help you out. Like I think Danielson was helping him out for a little bit with Collision and stuff like that, and but like I said, they can do some improving. It's not a bad company. Like I said, I love all wrestling, including AEW. I wanted to see it succeed because when the wrestling business, when that business can succeed, I get to watch cool wrestling, and I love to watch wrestling. Period. So.
Yeah, they got for me, like AEW is still good, but they're not consistent like they used to be.
Right.
Like you'll see a good show, and the next week they take 2 steps backwards. Like AEW used to be really consistent. Like they had really good storytelling with like Kenny Omega and Hangman, Punk and MJF. They had really good stories that you wanted to see what was going to happen the next week. Like you just had to, like you couldn't wait for next Wednesday. But now, the only feud that feels like that is Samoa Joe and Swerve, and that's it. Like the Jericho stuff was old. They got the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn and all this, the Bullet Club going. That's been old.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's still a good product, but it's just not. It's not the AEW that I once really loved.
That's totally understandable. Yeah.
And I'm not saying I want like a lot of people will take that and think that you want AEW to go out of business and you hate AEW. Like I don't get where people see that. Like I'm giving like if I didn't like AEW, I wouldn't have went to 15 plus AEW shows. I probably
Yeah.
I probably spent thousands of dollars in merchandise, bought their video game. What else? I bought all their action figures, thousands of dollars in that. Went to their shows and bought floor tickets lots of times. If I didn't
That's
like
kind of
AEW,
dedicated to them.
if I didn't like AEW, I wouldn't have done any of that. Because it's not like I have money growing on trees. I can just,
Right.
I still like AEW. But just for me right now, WWE is just right now. It's been a long time that WWE's been better than AEW consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a while, WWE was kind of lackluster.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like it's easy for AEW to be better than Vince. But it's not so easy when Triple H is in charge of WWE.
True.
I mean, it
When
was
you got
easy.
somebody there who's been in the trenches.
I mean, Vince was a good booker at once. I just feel like he got old and he didn't care anymore.
Yeah, I believe that too. The man got rich. He got what he needed out of the business. He just stopped caring and just watched the money come in.
I mean, it was easy for AEW to be not a bigger business, not making more money, but having a better product. But it's not easy going against Triple H because Triple H knows what he's doing. He knows what the fans want.
Yeah.
And
It's hard to compete with a huge machine.
Triple H knows what he knows how to book TV. The original T that he helped build, that was the best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope the AEW can figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. We want to see AEW succeed. That's the thing. I mean, as a wrestling fan, I want to see that business thrive because you get to see people perform that you will never probably see in WWE that are worth watching. So of course, I want to see it succeed.
They just need not what the hell they're doing. I mean, I feel like Vince Russo's in AEW right now. Somehow, some way, he got hired.
You think he's back there on his
Like
typewriter?
a lot of the stuff they've been doing, that's stuff that he would do in WCW. But lots of people think that if you talk bad about AEW, then you hate AEW or you want to go out of business.
Yeah, well, I don't know why people think that way. I'm a wrestling fan, which means that I'm not going to pick a side. I just want to see some good wrestling. You give me good wrestling, I'm down. But if you give me bad wrestling, that's what offends me.
And there was a point where I only watched AEW because it was more enjoyable to me. Like WWE was just, it was 2018 WWE and 2019 and WWE put out some of the worst stuff ever, and people were craving something different. And AEW, I feel like AEW from 2019 to mid 2023 was on a roll. Like they were on a consistent roll. But
yeah, they're smart. They're smart to see that the wrestling fans were hungry for something different, and they just happened to have their favorite course. Pretty good wrestling at the time.
Yeah, like even the stories too. AEW was putting on really good, consistent stories that like you just had to watch the next week because you wanted to see what was going to happen next. Now it's just someone from Japan and someone against AEW in a random match, and nothing becomes of it.
Right.
That's what and there's nothing wrong with having really good matches because you gotta have a mixture of both. You got to have good matches and good storytelling. And that's what WWE is doing good right now with having a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Damn. That was good. Enough about that, though.
We're gonna hop off our soapboxes now.
He was doing commercial break anyway, so the show's back now. So LA Knight did win the first one, it looks like. Because they showed him that.
LA Knight won. Okay, LA Knight won the first one. Okay.
They
'Cause
showed
I was talking in the chat while it was all going on, and I didn't catch who actually won.
Because it showed for next week LA Knight going against either one of these three, so it's probably going to be AJ Styles. I mean, at least the rematch isn't going to be on Backlash pay-per-view.
Right.
But that should make for a good SmackDown match, LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes at Backlash?
That'll be fire right there, man.
We were both leaders of the Bullet Club once upon a time.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if they even mention that if they go against each other. I hope they do.
Yeah, me too. AJ's bringing back like if it live as New Japan stuff, because like this the all black and everything. That's him in New Japan. And that's awesome to see him pull out in the WWE now.
Yeah, he's kind of different, a very different AJ Styles that WWE has seen. Like if you watch new TNA, like even in TNA, he did this type of stuff. Like
Yeah, the Lone Wolf. Yeah.
a little bit different in WWE, but it's basically the same thing, just a little bit different. If you go back and watch his stuff, you can see the similarities in the TNA and New Japan stuff to this right here. It's basically the same. This looks a little bit different.
Yeah, because I remember whenever AJ when he started wearing all black, and he got it was like Vince McMahon and Stone Cold with him and Dixie Carter, you know.
I remember going to a thing with TNA, and Jeff Jarrett said that Dixie Carter said that AJ Styles wasn't that good and wasn't worth the money.
Oh, what does Dixie know?
And you seen where it got her. Like
I mean, if anybody doesn't know the story of Dixie, I mean, she was basically I don't even know if she was a real fan. But she was like, "Hey, Daddy, I want a wrestling company." He said, "Okay, I'll get you one."
That reminds me of double suplex. Kurt Angle, Kevin Owens is pointing out some Kurt Angle stuff.
Yep.
They're in Detroit.
Oh,
You should
that
have
was
been doing
cool.
stuff in Pittsburgh. Double suplex both styles and stereo.
That was awesome. That was a hell of a spot.
Okay, WCW legend, a former Ring of Honor world champion, and a former TNA world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 619. There we go. Someone's gonna call some stereo, probably. I bet.
Oh man.
Stop.
Here we go.
Ooh, damn.
Oh.
Tried to do a swan tom, but all he catches is AJ Styles' knees.
That has to hurt though, man. Like, oh man, you land them like that on knees. Come on.
Yeah.
And then your neck snaps back when you land too.
There's no way of making that look. Of it not being painful. Oh, I think he caught him. This is gonna be a good finish if he. Damn.
Oh man.
That's good. That was perfect.
Damn, that was
That was
great.
that was the perfect finish. He did the Styles Clash on Mysterio onto Kevin Owens.
Oh man, AJ Styles did that. That was awesome.
I've never seen a Styles Clash done like that before.
And then he kept it, hooked it in for a pin. That was sick.
Yeah, he didn't let go. Like he still countered that into a pin.
You can't tell me he's not one of the best wrestlers in the world. You can't tell me he's not one of the best out there.
According to Dixie Carter, he's not. He's overrated. He's not making money. You know, Hulk Hogan knows. He's a bigger star. You know, Hulk Hogan knows. You see where they got Dixie. So
And I don't even like Hulk Hogan, but that's one thing I agree with him on is AJ Styles is that dude's a hell of a talent, one of a kind, if you ask me.
we got LA Knight versus AJ Styles Part 2 next Friday. Whoever wins goes against Cody Rhodes.
Hopefully that's gonna end this whole thing between them two.
I hope AJ Styles wins and we get Cody and AJ Styles. That could be for some really interesting promos between them two.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a hell of a Styles clash, man. I think that one's got to go up there. It's one of the best.
Yeah, that was really good. Like that was a very, very good finish. Yeah, that was it for SmackDown. I'm gonna have to go back and watch what I missed, but from what I think, it was a really good episode. I really loved Tiffany Stratton and Naomi match. The best moment tonight for me was Tama Tonga debuting, and we're getting pieces of a new bloodline, kind of like NWO and the formation of the NWO Wolfpack. Feels like we're getting an alternate version of the bloodline. And also the main event was really, really good. We just seen there. Very good back and forth match. And the finish was the best part of it. He just Styles clash from the top rope onto Kevin Owens, and then still reverse, and then still able to still have the pin. What am I saying? He swanton.
He kept him in. He kept it in for the hook and pinned him.
Yeah, like he was able to keep it hooked and then roll him over for the pin. Like that's pretty hard to do. To keep him balanced into the Styles Clash and still have it in a position where you can roll him over and pin. If I had to rate this episode without seeing the first match and Cody Rhodes and stuff, I'd probably give this show a 7.4 out of 10. But I feel like once I watch the first match and Cody Rhodes, I can it'll probably be an 8 out of 10 or 8 out of. I'll give this entire episode 8.2 out of 10 because I can already imagine I'm going to like what Cody Rhodes says on the first match. Yeah. So I'll give this episode a 8.2 out of 10.
That's pretty fair. I'm gonna go right around there, around 9.5. It was good. I mean, the whole show from beginning to end was pretty solid. Kept me invested, and when I wasn't looking all in the chat, whenever they were talking about and everything, we were conversing in the chat. It was a killer show, and we had great chat interaction, of course, tonight. And I'm giving it a straight 8.5. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I hope to see more of this come out on WWE television because we need more of this. As far as keeping us on the edge of our seats, and like we whenever you have Tuna came out tonight, I mean, the place blew up. I went crazy because I was thinking to myself, okay, not tonight. I'm sure he's backstage, but they're not gonna pull the trigger tonight. And then when they finally pull the trigger, I mean that's like that's to getting your money's worth out of it, if you ask me. But yeah, 8.5.
This show made me want to watch next week because I want to know what happens with Tama Tonga. He joined Solo turned Jimmy, and he's calling for Paul Heyman was going to call Roman Reigns, but Solo didn't want him to. But then he said he took orders from the tribal chief. Is he referring to The Rock as the tribal chief? Because, Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, but, since Roman lost and The Rock won at WrestleMania, The Rock thinks that he's the new tribal chief, which I could see that happening. Setting up for a Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series. I could definitely see that.
Cool.
But this show made me want to tune in to see what happens next week. And even the main event, I want to see who's going to win between AJ Styles and LA Knight, because Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles 40 world title would be a really good match, as they're two former Bullet Club members. And I don't think Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, I don't think they've ever won against each other one-on-one, because they've always been in different paths. AJ Styles was in TNA, Cody was in WWE, Cody Rhodes was in AEW, and AJ Styles was in WWE. I don't think they've ever encountered each other. Like, they've always taken different paths.
I have to go look and do some research. I'm not sure if they've encountered each other either.
If they have, it was AJ Styles versus Stardust. But that's not Cody Rhodes, that's Stardust. This show, and next week we got LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Whoever wins that match will be going against Cody Rhodes, 40 WWE champion, in the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship at Backlash. Next week we also got Bayley defending the Women's World Title versus Naomi. She beat Tiffany Stratton, and that was also a pretty good match. And we also got a 4-way tag team match next week to determine the number one contenders for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller SmackDown tag titles. I believe it's Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Authors of Pain versus Street Profits, and trying to remember the fourth team in that. There's a fourth team in there. But 4 tag teams. Whoever wins goes against Theory and Waller for the SmackDown tag titles. That should be pretty exciting. I like how, as we said earlier, I love how they split those tag titles up. So now we get matches like this. We get tag teams like this on SmackDown. On Raw, we get, DIY and the Creed Brothers and Imperium and New Day. So you get more tag teams. It's more entertainment for the fans. Like you get to see more variety of tag teams on both shows. I thought tonight was really good. We possibly might be doing a Raw live reaction. Raw on Monday. I know we got Sami Zayn and Chad Gable for Intercontinental title, and Andrade versus Dominic Mysterio. It should be a really good match. If you guys haven't already, check out our Facebook page. The only thing this channel is on the wide, not the wide world. We're I don't forget our name. Worldwide Wrestling Podcast. We do have a Facebook account. The All Elite Zone has a lot more. I'm still growing this. Even though it's 1,000 subscribers, it's still hard to gain an audience, which I thought we'd really improved on tonight. Seems like a lot of people were in the comments tonight and watching the show and talking about stuff. So definitely appreciate everyone watching tonight. As I said, definitely check out the Wide World of Wrestling Podcast Facebook page. That's where we'll post show updates and stuff like that. So if we do a Raw reaction, you'll see it there. See a promotional thing for it, and then we'll know to tune in here. This was our SmackDown reaction. It seemed like we got a lot more people for SmackDown. They even watch and join us for Raw on Mondays. We normally do a lot more Raws than SmackDowns, but I feel like we're going to try to do a lot more SmackDowns, because I want to see what's going to happen with Tama Tonga now and all that.
Right.
I want to cover it on here. But also check out the All Elite Zone. That's our main channel. This is a sister channel to that channel, the All Elite Zone. We do weekly AEW live reactions, Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. We have interviews. We have talk shows. We have all sorts of stuff. We have daily content. We just had an interview today with the Von Erichs. We had an interview with Kevin Von Erich not too long ago, but This interview was about his sons, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. We interviewed. Definitely go check out that interview on the All Elite Zone channel. Subscribe to the All Elite Zone. We do a lot of stuff over there. As I said, live reactions. We have talk shows. We have interviews with wrestlers. We've interviewed a whole catalog of wrestlers, from legends to up and coming people to people who are currently wrestling. Some people are champions right now in AEW we've had on. Some people are just now getting their groove, like Kevin Von Erich's sons. Definitely go check out the All Elite Zone. And yeah, we definitely plan on doing a lot more content on here. Raw and SmackDown live reactions. We've talked about doing some review shows, WWE 2K24. And if there's anything you guys would like to see us do, definitely leave in the comments, because we're always listening to ideas and doing what you guys want to see. So, yeah, that's much all I got to say. Is there anything you want to add, Mr. Jacobs, before we sign off?
No, just thanks for watching with us, and come back whenever we're on. Hang out with us.
Yeah, we do this. We don't do this often like we do the All Elite Zone weekly, but we try to do this when we can. But I'm 80% confident we'll be back on Monday for Raw. But as I said, follow our Facebook page too. If you're interested, you'll see a promotion for it that day. But I'm 80% sure we'll be here for Raw. But yeah, we'll see you guys possibly on Monday for Monday Night Raw.
Peace.